I'd make my way back to the bathroom where I was violently ill and sweating and having absolutely every single symptom you could possibly have. And I'm still pleading with God, please, if you just make the pain stop, I will go home. I will quit smoking. I will be the best me I can possibly be. Just please make it stop hurting. And then it hit me, I'm going to die in a bathroom stall.
Hey everybody, Max here, and this is How I Changed My Life. Now, if you're new to this is the series where we take a look at the real life stories of people who have drastically transformed their lives for the better. My hope for this series is that it can show you that change is always possible, no matter where you're at in life, and you can always pursue the life that you've always wanted for yourself. In today's video, we're taking a look at the story of Carole Coburn and how in 1 year in her 50s, she suffered from a major heart attack and 2 strokes. This left her unable to read or write, and so she decided to transform her life by pursuing her long love of music. She now hosts a weekly radio show where she features up-and-coming musicians in Austin. Now, personally, what I love about this story is that it shows that given the right perspective, you can always take a very negative experience in your life and transform it into a positive one. Now, I'm going to link Carole's show into the description of the video, but for now, let's jump right into her story.
My name is Carole. I'm a radio host, and this is the story of how I changed my life. My life changed about 5 years ago. I was at a team outing. We were bowling and having a great time having drinks. I set my frou-frou drink down on the table in the bowling lanes and took a picture for Facebook. And I posted it saying, "Bring it on." And at the moment I hit post, this unbelievable pain hit my chest, like the Incredible Hulk taking a fist and just bumping it and holding that pressure. I was in denial that I was having a heart attack, and I'd make my way back to the bathroom where I was violently ill and sweating and having absolutely every single symptom you could possibly have. And I'm still pleading with God, please, if you just make the pain stop, I will go home. I will quit smoking. I will be the best me I can possibly be. Just please make it stop hurting. And then it hit me, I'm going to die in a bathroom stall. So I got up and I made my way out of the bathroom and back down this long hallway as far as the first chair I could get to, where my teammates came and found me. They said, "Listen, bitch, you either get in the car or we're calling an ambulance, but one way or the other, you're going to the hospital." We were only about 1.5 miles from a hospital at that point, so I chose the cool ride in the new Mustang. We got there and I was taken care of, and I killed part of my heart, I really did, waiting way too long. I had a massive heart attack. They had to place 2 stents in my chest. 2 months later, I was on my way home from work, and something happened. I felt something weird in my head. I thought, what is going on? So I decided maybe I'm dehydrated. I went and pulled into a McDonald's. There wasn't many people in the drive-thru, so I thought maybe if I just get a drink and hydrate myself, I'll be okay. I was only a couple miles from home at this point. And I got up to the speaker box, and the girl said, "Can I take your order, please?" And I wanted to say that I wanted a bottle of water, but all that would come out of my mouth was, I wanted a McGrill's. And she said, "Ma'am, we don't have anything called that." And I kept saying McGrill. I could not make my mouth say what my head wanted it to. Still convinced that I was okay, that I was dehydrated, even though I knew. I went home, carried on. I didn't feel real good. A couple days later, I was still having this horrible headache. So I went ahead and made an appointment at my doctor's because I thought, gosh, I can't drink enough to get rid of this headache. And I went into the doctor and told him what I thought it was. And he said, "Okay, now it's my turn to talk." He said, "I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and I want you to answer." I said, "Okay." He asked me my name, my date of birth. He asked me who the President of the United States was. And for the life of me, I could not say Barack Obama. And I looked at him and tears came down my face. And I said, "I know this." And he said, "I know you do." He said, "Now, I believe you've had a stroke. I want you to go have a CAT scan done." So I ended up going over to the hospital, and it showed I had 2 strokes in 3 days. I wasn't dragging a leg, or I didn't have any paralysis. I did have some right-sided weakness, but where it affected me was my comprehension and my ability to read. I couldn't make the sentences flow. There was no fluidity. And people would lean in and finish my sentences because I couldn't come up with the right words. I slipped into a horrific depression. And that's not how I lived my life. I was not a depressed person. I never fully understood depression. And I did there. I didn't understand why I was being punished this way. And all of a sudden, I'm having to give up my home and move in with a roommate. Kicking and screaming I went. But I couldn't take care of my home anymore. I couldn't cut the grass. I couldn't do the things that I needed to do. So I'm in this depression. And it came to me that in Job, in the Bible, that the potter would take a piece of pottery and remake it into something new and give it a new purpose. And I felt maybe that was what was going on with me, that I had to stop looking back and saying, why me? And I needed to reevaluate and determine what I could do, the new me, because there was no going back. I didn't have the same abilities. My short-term memory was affected. So once I made this revelation of moving forward and figuring out what I could do with myself, my depression lifted. I realized I couldn't go back to I was an avid reader. That was my hobby. I loved to read. I wrote short stories. And so I needed to find a new passion in my life and find something that I could do, that I could give my time to and enjoy. And along came the radio station. When I read in the paper that the local radio station was having a fundraiser at an art gallery in town, I made plans to be there. I found the station manager and I introduced myself. I told him that I wanted to have a radio show of my own, and who did I need to talk to make that happen. I was told that there was going to be a volunteer meeting coming up in the next couple of weeks, and that I should come and pitch my idea there. So the next month, when they had the volunteer meeting, I was there, and I was ready. I was given an application to complete, and it asked about my concept, what I wanted to do, what was my message that I had for the community, what was my ultimate purpose. I thought about it, and I thought about it. Music had always been a part of my life. Will I be saved by rock and roll? And with Austin being described as the new Nashville, there was plenty of talent to be promoted. And so that's been my show. They took me on, and they trained me. They trained me how to work a 16-channel Mackie, how to produce my own shows and edit my own shows. And now I invite musicians into the studio, and they perform a live house concert to my listeners across the world, since the station streams worldwide. Maybe a chair so I can sit down there and play when I'm old. I've now been fortunate enough to interview the likes of Henry Winkler, the Fonz, Bart Millard from Mercy Me. I've done David Archuleta from American Idol fame. And now I'm happy to say I'm loving life. That radio station helped heal me. I went from not being able to trust that I was going to wake up the same person I went to sleep as, to embracing the newness and the uncertainty of every day, knowing that I'm not necessarily driving this bus, and it's all going to be okay. And praise that rock